We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love.
Isn't it awesome when Desiree Gold comes and brings us together? It's always such a pleasure. I don't know. Got a green light. I got a green light. Yes, yes, yes. Yay! Yes, I was just saying, isn't it always a pleasure when Desiree Gold is in the house and brings us together? I love it. I love it. Yes. Well, good morning. My name is Shireen Hill, and I am so glad to see you all here and feel the energy of everyone that's in the virtual sanctuary. And welcome, welcome. The seasons are changing. You can really feel it today. At least I could. I was even at a stop sign taking pictures of all the trees around. So I'm enjoying the change in season, and I'm enjoying seeing all of you here. If you are new to Unity, we do have welcome packets at the welcome desk. Jill has some for you. We also at unitydenver.org, new to Unity, if you're in the virtual sanctuary. And this will give you an opportunity to get to know more about who we are and also sign up for a newsletter. We have lots and lots going on. That's also represented in our insert. You can see it's still packed, jam-packed with things. There's just a couple of things I want to make sure that I highlight for you. Next Sunday after services, we have an opportunity for a meet and greet. And I remember a while ago when I was new and started checking things out again, and I looked up saw that there was this meet and greet, and it was a great opportunity to come into the adult ed room, meet Trish, me, some of the council members, some of the leadership around here, Lisa, just to bring some coffee and snacks and get to know each other. You know, coming and going, you don't get to know as much about each other, and an opportunity to ask a few questions. And so please put that on your calendar if you hadn't had the opportunity to meet some of the people behind the scenes that are making things happen. So please plan to do that next Sunday. And then we have our Chili Fest and our play. The play is Wiley and the Hairy Man. If you were here Friday night and you saw the production that we had, that same producer, Johanna Rowan, she is the one producing and working with this whole cast of characters. Even there must be a hairy man in there, right? And Wiley. So make sure that today after service, you grab some tickets. They'll be on sale at the table in the gathering space. Also, we're having a chili fest. And so you're invited to get your secret recipe and bring it, and we'll have tastings and bowls of chili and cornbread and all of those festive things, and then we'll get to vote on whose secret recipe is the best. So if you are one of those cooks, we're also having you sign up in the gathering space and bring your talents to that. And everyone's invited to to come in costume. We said children, but you know, we're all children at heart. So come in costume, stay for the play. The tickets are $10. Unless you're 4 and under, you're free. And then if you have a family, the tickets are $25 for a family. And that includes both the chili dinner before and the play. So great opportunity to come together. All right, so the reading today that Trish has chosen is from a blog post by Melanie Schwader, and it's titled Tapping into the Wisdom of the Seasons. And so it reads this way: Our natural world is always in flux, and yet it follows a distinct cyclical pattern. From the phases of the moon to the life cycle of plants and animals, we can see this sacred rhythm play out month after month, year after year. But how many of us pay close attention to the heralding of each new stage or phase or season? We seem to be too caught up in our own lives, our work obligations, and our family dynamics to really tap into the beautiful changes that are happening all around us. Our culture has moved away from one of honoring the rhythms of nature with celebration and gratitude to one of a year-round productivity and focus on the self. However, when you take a moment, get quiet and listen, you can hear the rustlings of change and our call to participate in it. In Native cultures, each season was seen as a sacred invitation to slow down and observe the rhythm of our Mother Earth. Every few months, all the people from the tribe would come together in celebration, giving thanks for the season that has gone and for the one to come, as a way to keep in harmony with the natural world. These celebrations were an integral part of the Native life, and they didn't need a paper calendar to know when it was time to gather in song, dance, and feast. They felt the seasons shift deep within them, in the air and on their skin, and in the sounds of the trees and animals. Within their very cells, they knew when it was time. Each of us carries this innate wisdom and sensitivity within us. We simply need to call it forth again.
Thank you. So that is exactly what I'm hoping to do today. Good morning, everyone. I'm Trish Morris. If I haven't met you yet, I hope to meet you today. Be sure to stop by and say hello. I see smiling faces out there. I think I recognize everyone. But if I haven't met you, I'd like to, so please introduce yourself after the service. So, taking a little diversion from our study of divine audacity to really hone in on this, what the season is calling, what it's calling within me, and what I hope to share with you and invite you into. And just inviting Taryn here, who I said, sure, bring your 2-year-old, it'll be fine. So we are sending you love and blessings as you navigate that in the back, and you're welcome to be here with him. It's great to see you. And so as we settle into our time together this morning, I just invite us to claim our creed together that sort of centers us into all that we do and all that we teach and all that we are about here at Unity Spiritual Center Denver. So let's just affirm that together. Our God is love, our race is human, our faith is oneness. And so as you begin to just settle in, I invite you to relax your body, quiet your mind as much as possible, just letting this time of invocation and prayer be an invitation for your full presence to arrive here. We begin with the singing bowl that resonates with our heart chakra.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
So just take a deep breath into the presence of love that is in this place, in this space, because you are in this place. And just be reminded that you and we are expressions of divine love right here, right now. And so I invite you to just take a deep breath, feel the ground beneath your feet, the chair supporting your body, and invite your whole self to arrive right here, right now. As we remember that we are always in the presence of divine love, of God. For that is the presence that animates our very being. And so it is true wherever we are, God is. And so we breathe into that truth, call that into our awareness now. And for this moment, inviting the busyness of our minds to calm, releasing its frenetic grip of incessant thinking and judging and worrying and planning, just to be right here, right now. Finding that place within you of pure beingness where you can catch your breath. And let your breath be your guide inward. And so just take a moment to get quiet and listen to see what you hear of the rustlings of change within your own awareness as this season invites us inward. Acknowledge and admit the light of spirit into your awareness. Remembering that light is symbolic of the divine, of divine illumination and wisdom. Traditionally, God has been known as the one great source of light and our great resource. And so tap into that now. The light that you are and the resource that's available within you. And we welcome the light to work in and through our consciousness. Allowing it to illumine what is wrestling within us, and trusting that whatever that is appearing for our good, our growth, our healing, our revealing. And so we tune into it. And we're reminded that anything, above anything that may be happening to us, what matters the very most is what happens within us. So this is an invitation to connect with that. And we're reminded that we know and we believe and we trust that there is only one power, one source, one mind, one God, the source of light itself. And we cannot be separate from it. And so we let the light of that truth illumine our being, illumine our minds. And we can send that luminous energy and light through this room out into this field. May it touch all people and all creation, that they too know their light. May they be guided and supported in expressing it. And may we all continue to awaken to that is calling within us. And for our capacity to hear it and to know it and to claim it, we are grateful. And so it is.
My family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. Mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. The color of my eyes, I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age, I am not my race. My soul inside is alright. I am light.
You make that look so easy. Just standing back here. And you don't even need to be near the microphone. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. So yeah, as I said, I've taken a slight detour from, we'll get back to it, don't worry, those of you who are reading and ready for the next chapter of Divine Audacity. There's plenty of time. I was invited into this idea of, we mispronounced it last week horribly. It's hygge. I think we said hygge or something terrible. But hygge is this Danish word for a quality of coziness, feeling warm, comfortable, and safe. That is really a way of life for the Danish people. And especially as we come into this time of fall, right, that is sort of drawing us into needing to be cozy and warm because we're being called into ourselves. We're being called into a time of introspection, harvest, and preparation. And that reading that I found today really touched me because I feel more and more, I feel more in tune with the season and the call and the wisdom than I have before. And have any of you felt that this season? Raise your hands. Yeah. And I feel like, so I've explored that a little bit, and I'm going to share that with you and invite you to consider it as well for yourself, why that is. I think it has to do with our experience of the last 3 years, and making us more available and more in tune to what is calling us within. And so, what do I want to say about that? I feel that for me and for some of you and some people in my own life, there's been a tension. There's been this tension of wanting to slow down, wanting to go within, and also, but there's normal, right? And we've just sort of gotten back to that. And we're so happy to be back together and gathering and back to work and back to activities. But what I'm noticing is that when all of that stopped, there was a lot that became revealed. There was space and opening within myself, some of it good, some of it not so good, and certainly within the world, and in our country and in our communities, some of it wonderful, some of it coming together and finding innovative ways to connect and recognizing that it wasn't all the bells and whistles of the party or the place. It was the connection and people sitting out on their patios and just being together, right? Recognizing how important that is and feeling really pained by the ways that we couldn't do that, realizing how important that was. And one of these days I will get rid of these notes because I don't follow them, and yet I need them. So there's some good stuff in here, but I'm already off track. As much as there's been that eagerness to get that back going again, for me, what has been revealed in the meantime, and I want to make note that we didn't willingly stop. We were stopped, right? And many of us were already saying, I can't keep up with this, right? And it's not that I don't like all the things, but I'm hardly able to be present in all the things. And what I think was brewing behind that for many of us was that there are things in me and in my daily existence that I need to be tending to. And I can't do it when I'm in this feverish busyness. And as a result, we suffer. Our relationships suffer, we suffer. And so some of that was really exposed. You know, I had, as I said, so much to be grateful for, and I hope many of us in this room would say the same. My job, my health, my family. I had connection, I had safety, I had warmth, I had resources, I had support. And I also became keenly aware that that was not the case for everyone, that there was great inequity, and I couldn't not see it. Yeah? And I think because we were more available, more of us were more available to see and know what that means. And particularly from this lens of our spiritual understanding of oneness, that we are all expressions of this one source of life, and we are all so inherently connected. And so, if I'm still and I'm clear, this matters to me, even though it doesn't affect me maybe directly in my life, but it does affect my well-being and our well-being collectively. And so, while I'm just finally, perhaps for the first time in my adult life, really giving in to the wisdom of this season. Slow down. Because I think, though we've talked at great length in little bleeps over the past 3 years of what we've lost, what we're grieving, what's different, just that sense of sort of seemingly false security, right? That we can't falter as a people, as a nation. We're faltering. Some things are faltering. And we need to start talking about that. Because I think in order to create something that is new and vibrant and really an expression of our next best evolution, some things are going to fall away. And that does feel uneasy and scary. And we love that sense of comfort and predictability, right? And yet, for me, going back into that normal, that comfortability, it doesn't feel the same because I'm not the same. And I want to be talking about that. Am I just way off base? You following me? Okay, everybody's like, oh, what's she talking about? She's going to talk about it. That's what I want. So that's what I want to create, is that new normal that incorporates some of what has been uncovered, some of what I had the opportunity to recognize. When you're alone with yourself a little more, you can't get away from yourself as quickly. Things that I needed to deal with, things that I needed to heal, things that I needed to take responsibility for. And I think many of us, if we're honest and are doing some work, which we should all be doing, we're not done, can take responsibility for. And that affects how we show up. It affects how our light can shine more clearly and more freely, because we're not tripped up by those places that we don't attend to, that get triggered. And so I'd really like to invite you all to just take a moment, considering what I've just said. Just take a breath and consider for yourself what you might be feeling, that you are that's being activated in you, that's being this season of slowing, of going inward, of providing yourself with warmth and comfort and security so that you can attend to what is being revealed, what you're being called into, what change is occurring in your awareness. Whatever that may be, just connect with that. What is the rustling of this changing season illuminating in you, making you aware of, and calling you in to participate? And again, because I think it's so important that we begin to reflect on this together in community, I'd like you to share what comes to you with someone near you. And please do this it's safe to do it. You can share as little or as much, but just give your neighbor a glimpse of what is coming forth for you that you're being invited into. And make sure everybody has a partner. Can you put that slide up, Elle? I have that question. Just share what you're noticing or feeling as the wrestling of this changing season moves through you. Person with the longest hair goes first. We don't have all day, people. Go, go, go. What's Russ? Okay. Okay. We'll bring you back to this time and space. It seems, excuse me, it seems like y'all maybe had something come to mind. Yeah, excuse me, I'm gonna need a drink. Part of, he's muted me, so I can't, you don't hear me drinking, which is. That slide up again? Sure. Elle can. Thank you, Elle. Yeah, and you know, this was just a glimpse, right? And hopefully it's an invitation for you to, now you have to stop talking. It's a glimpse and an invitation for you to continue to attend to that, to pay attention to that, to nurture yourself in this time, this season. And I love the idea of I see the seasons as so much of nature and creation as the wisdom of the Spirit in how all of that works, right? The beauty of our own bodies and the cycles that we go through that are represented and invited by the seasons, by the changes of the seasons. And all of that busyness, all of the ways that culturally and societally we are really pulled away from that, right? Through the busyness. Through the busyness, through the activities. And that was kind of what I shared, that I really feel hesitant to go back to that, even though it's not that any of the things aren't good, right? It's just the too muchness of it. And that covers up, for me, and takes away from my ability to authentically both attend to myself and to be present in a meaningful way with what I'm doing. And so I just said, I had this thought that when the covering of busy, productive, overbooked was gone, there was a whole lot revealed within and without. And this, I believe, is the work of spiritual illumination and wisdom at work when we slow down long enough to tend to it. You know, we often think it's just happening when we're on our meditation pillow for those 10 minutes or 20 minutes, but this is an invitation all the time to tune in to what is coming forth, what is alive in us. And as I said, so much, there has been good that has been revealed, I think, through that pause, that now we get to sort of sort through it and say, what's next, right? And so heeding the call to nature is, I would remembered as well that was helpful for a lot of us during the time when we couldn't get together, right? The beauty of nature, the order of nature, the serenity of nature. I went camping and paddleboarding more than ever that year because I could. And it also reflected time inward. It called me inward, and it calmed that sense of what is happening. And so I think that is what we're exploring here with this idea of the season. And so on some level, I know myself better. And I hope that that's true for you. I hope that as you have and we continue to work through what is falling away and what is coming forward and what is being revealed, that you put your oxygen mask on first, right? That you take care of yourself so that you can clear the way for this light, for this illumination to shine more fully. I'm clearer than ever that is what we're being called to do. And so it's going to take, we're not accustomed to that. As I said last week, the world doesn't say, hello, light of the world, come shine. It says, what are you doing? What are you producing? How much money do you have? What are you driving? And that's just how it's been. It doesn't mean that we all have to stay in agreement with that game plan, right? I think a lot is being revealed that is asking to be healed, and that began in my own awareness, and I see it everywhere I look. I was listening to the NPR story last night. Anybody listening to that on I hate when I do this. I have it right there. It's a school in North Dakota on the Pine Ridge Reservation where they are dealing with its truth and healing, the truth and healing program there. To really recognize the damage that was done through colonialism and those schools, right, where where indigenous children were taken and their hair was cut and they were beaten if they spoke their language or danced or sang. That was their culture, that was their identity. We've learned about it, maybe, but have we ever really thought, my goodness, oh my goodness. And so these things are coming up so that we can heal them. And the same thing with our insidious history of slavery and the continuation of racism. Coming up For those of us who are saying, I want to be a part of something different and better and fuller. And we can do it. But we have to be willing to acknowledge and see what had been in the dark before. That we had been so busy in so many ways that we hadn't fully sat with the heaviness of that. And how it hurt, I was not affected by that directly as a white person, but it certainly has affected my soul. It affects all of our souls as expressions of that one source. And so I'm just sharing with you some of what I feel has changed in me and my awareness. And I don't want to go back to busy and cover that up. I want to stay attuned to it and attune myself. And I'm inviting, this isn't about me, although it sure seems like it. I'm inviting us all to do that. And I'm inviting us all to begin to talk about that, whatever that is for you. Right? Whatever is in this season that you all said, yes, you're feeling it more deeply, to slow down, to look within, to take stock, to prepare, if you will. And that's how we set ourselves up for what we can create. And yes, some things fall away, right? The seasons remind us of that every year. So I'll just take a moment I'll invite us all to go inward again, to just sort of connect with how is this landing with you? What is coming up for you? What have you perhaps already noticed about the tension that you might be feeling around slowing down? But wait, we just got started, but I know, right? What's that dance? What's that friction? And how can you support yourself in staying tuned to it, trusting it, and letting, as that quote said, how can you participate in the season, right, of slowing down and change, assessing change, how that's occurring within you. So I'll invite Des to lead us into a meditative song. We'll consider this for ourselves.
I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright.
So just breathe into that light that you are, that realization that you, at your beingness is an expression of divine life and light and love. And it contains so much wisdom and understanding, all those capacities that we're learning about. The fullness of God, divine nature, all that we can imagine God to be is the essence of what we are. And so we connect with that to be guided and strengthened and illumined. I am a light in this world. And in order to shine that light, I first shine it within myself. What is wrestling within me? What am I being invited into in this season of slowing down and looking inward? and what has or is falling away. And what is being revealed that needs to be tended to in your soul? Bringing in the illumination of spirit, and the wisdom and the understanding to support you in seeing it and following it and knowing it. Just ask how you can open up to receive the wisdom of this season. Letting it supporting you, heeding the call. And as we move forward this day, let the light of truth and the wisdom of spirit illuminate your path so that you are guided into action, into participation in a way that honors your being and others, that stays attuned to all that has been revealed. So that we may move forward more fully and freely, being and sharing and shining the light that we are. So just take a breath, bringing your awareness back to this time and space. And just, I encourage you to find ways to nurture yourself, to extend that warmth, that comfort, and that safety so that you can explore what is moving through you in this season and share that and invite others into that experience. The author of the blog there offered wonderful ways to honor and mark the beginning of each new season, like creating a personal altar, hosting a seasonal party or celebration, but not too many, participating in a ritual that is meaningful, and supporting yourself with warmth, coziness, reading, music that invites you inward. And so I invite you to take that seriously and see what the season is bringing to life in you. And now I will acknowledge our offering. We are doing it a little bit differently with baskets in the back. So many of you give online, which we are grateful for, or electronically, I should say. For those of you who would like to give cash or check, please do that as you depart here. We so appreciate and really operate on your gifts of love, your gifts of service, and your financial good. And so thank you for being here today. Thank you for supporting the service and this community. And there are ways for those of you watching online that you can also give. We really appreciate your support as well. And those of you in-house, you can give online via our website, unitydenver.org, with the donate button. So however you are giving and whatever you are giving, let's just join together in blessing that. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains, and I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times when the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise you we'll bring the world to its feet and move mountains, bring it to its feet and move mountains, and and I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again.
Thank you, Des. Thank you, Martha, Nick, and Scott. Such a beautiful, beautiful song. You know, I was hearing that from the lens of our spirit. You know, that within us that will rise up 1,000 times again for all the ways we are asked and pushed and hurt. That there is that within us that is strong and true and free. And so I just felt that so purely in that song. So thank you. Yes. Desiree Gold plays all over Denver. So yeah, you can see her in many different venues. If you love her voice as much as I do, check it out. Thank you for being here. We will close with our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. As light, I illumine my world. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. As love, I live empathy, understanding, and compassion. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. As power, I co-create a world of love, unity, and equality for all. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. As presence, I stand in truth in every circumstance. Wherever we are, God is. Amen.